Hey guys, hey everyone, welcome to another video. So I want to weigh in quickly to sort of just be the final video that I'm going to do about KIWAMI 3 in general. Well, maybe not KIWAMI 3 in general, but as far as the controversy is concerned, probably for now I'm going to stop covering it. But before I do that, I want to give you my final thoughts plus a couple of different ways for us to actually boycott together. So the first option that I would like to present is, of course, simply just boycotting. Just not giving them money, not playing the game, not buying it. That's perfectly fine. Boycotting does not mean you're not going to get to enjoy the game. As you people know, there's other ways to enjoy video games nowadays, and one of them is to watch them online on YouTube. It's obvious enough that not everybody is going to participate in the boycott, and I think that's a good thing. Now, why do I think that's a good thing? It's simple. We can get together with people who boycott and didn't boycott, and we can actually boycott. I know I said that word a lot, so let me explain. If there is just enough of a boycott to beat their expectations, by beating their expectations, I actually mean lowering the expectations. For example, if they're expecting $1 million sale versus they actually get 200,000, that's a successful boycott. 200,000 sales while they were expecting 1 million doesn't really mean anything. If they're expecting more or if they're expecting less, the actual figure is, I'm just throwing out an example, right? The point that I'm trying to get across is we can boycott together even with the people who don't boycott. Now, the second option is, of course, not boycotting and buying and playing the game. And this has a couple of advantages as well. The people who don't buy it can actually experience and enjoy the game because they have been waiting for KIWAMI 3 for a while. And this is also the last Yakuza game that they're going to get. So I feel some sort of empathy. I feel understanding for them. But I also understand people don't really want to see an abuser in their games. I think the two options that I presented work pretty well together. I think we need some people to boycott, and we need a small section of people to not boycott and play the game. That is why I think these two options work pretty good together. That is why I also think it's nothing wrong to purchase the game, and it's also nothing wrong to not purchase the game, because boycotting is simply showing that we disapprove of their decisions. And what better way to show them that we disapprove by making sure that they don't get enough profits. Now, they can get not enough profits by a small section of people buying the game. Not everybody has to participate, but enough of a crowd has to participate. I think this is the best option. I think this is the most effective and the most realistic option. I think this is the option that can be done within 2 months. And I do actually think that this is something that will get us results. This is something that will get us better games. This is something that will get us better cast members. Not everybody wants to boycott the game because they love the franchise, and hiring somebody like Kagawa isn't going to get in the way. This is something that we need to accept. There's nothing we can do about that. All we can do is talk, discuss, and participate in discussion, whether in online or in person. Now, there's also two other options that I want to give, which is so the third option that I want to talk about is boycotting with a twist. What is boycotting with a twist? It's going to go back to my first point. Boycotting with a twist is watching it on YouTube, renting the physical copy, borrowing it from a friend, or even purchasing it like a 90% discount, or getting a Steam key, like a CD key somewhere else. It doesn't really necessitate boycott, and I can understand why some people think this doesn't really count as a boycott. I get that. I understand that. I do think that's a fair point, and I really have nothing to refute about that. I think if you say to me, Silent Noob, this point 3 is not boycotting, I will say fair enough. I will give you that. And the fourth option is, this is kind of like an extreme, rare, nuclear option, but you buy the game and you support their decision to hire Kagawa, basically. I'm not sure. I don't think people actually think like this. It's kind of just like trolls online, but I am also concerned that some people are going to start to think this way. So what is my decision? Well, I think my decision is first one. I'm going to boycott it. I always liked the original 3. I never thought we needed KIWAMI 3. I've always said this many times in my channel. I've said it last year on TikTok, in my lives, in my streams, and I'm saying it right now. We do not need a KIWAMI 3. Never thought we needed it. The original 3 was perfectly fine. I think if it releases, I'm just going to go back and play the remaster. And I think that's good enough for me. But I understand that some people can't play janky games. Some people can't play old games. And I'm not saying that to like be condescending. I actually come from an understanding place because sometimes I also can't really play those like really old 1990 games. That's my opinion. That's my take. I think either option is perfectly fine. It's only not fine if we don't have enough of a crowd that's actually boycotting. We just gotta make sure that enough of a crowd participates in not purchasing the game. I understand there's petitions, signatures, awareness, but I said this in my previous video. Petitions and attention doesn't really mean anything if you give them money. And the only thing that's going to tell them is that they can continue to do this. But if their sales numbers take a severe hit, it doesn't really matter how many people boycott or not boycott. If they're losing money making KIWAMI 3, they're going to understand that we disapprove. Thank you so much. That's pretty much it for the video. I'll see you guys next one. Bye bye.